Good morning everyone! I have just come back from Christmas and New Year's and I'm finally getting back into doing some more of my pottery, and we've had a few really big changes over the Christmas break which I'm very excited about, and I will have to show you what they are because I got spoiled. Thoroughly spoiled at Christmas. For the past 2 years I've been throwing on this little no brand off the internet wheel. It was a gift from my sister and her hubby, and honestly it has been fantastic. I've actually been really impressed with it, but unfortunately it does restrict a few things that I wanted to do in terms of size and power. For Christmas my husband absolutely spoiled me with a Shimpo RK3E. So this is my new wheel and it is just amazing and huge and so much better than my old one. So I'm looking forward to seeing what I can create on this new and improved wheel. In other news, we have a new addition to our family and I'm very excited to introduce you to Calcifer. He is a Mancoon cross, he's 3 months old, and he is settling into the family absolutely beautifully. In the interest of using my new wheel and accommodating our newest family member, I've decided to make Calcifer some food and water bowls. I've made him a set of 2 of these little food dishes that can be washed interchangeably. I've done a ring around it that can be filled with water to hopefully keep ants and other bugs out of his food. And I'll need to throw 2 more little water dishes as well. I'm going to carve a cute little cat motif on the inside just because, well, it's cute. It'll still be a few more weeks until these pieces are carved and dried and glazed, so in the meantime we've just got a little bowl from the kitchen for him. You excited about your new kitty cat? Yeah. Do you think he's pretty cute?
Yes, so cute.
If you're wondering about his name, Calcifer, I know it's a bit of an odd one, but I'm a big fan of the books and movies of Howl's Moving Castle. Alright, how's that? After I made the bowls for the cat, my daughter asked if she could be taught how to throw mugs on the wheel. She's only 5 years old, so it's a little bit challenging and she's still learning, and I'm still learning how to teach a 5-year-old how to throw. See how it's starting to do a little. Our endeavour may have ended in a minor tantrum from both of us, but I think we both had a lot of fun trying to do it, and it's definitely something that I would like to continue teaching her how to do in the future, as she's a very, very creative child. I continued working by myself after our little lesson, and I found that every time that I change anything about my pottery practice, whether it's my position or how tall I'm sitting or a new wheel, I seem to struggle for quite a while to get the hang of it again. So I like to use this time to practice throwing and just getting back into my vibe of throwing again. So I thought that I would give some throwing a go on my new wheel today while I have a bit of a chat to you about everything that's been going on in our little homestead. So you've already met Calcifer, our newest addition. So on a homestead we have animals, which means we have animal feed, and that means we get rats, unfortunately. It's just sort of part and parcel. So we have gotten Calcifer, not only because he is just the cutest thing ever, but we've also gotten him to hopefully control our rat population. Or mice. No, they're rats. They're big and ratty. So for those of you freaking out that we're going to let him loose on all the wildlife, don't panic too much. We're actually going to get him a perimeter collar. So he will be confined to, I don't know, it's probably half an acre, maybe an acre of land, and won't be able to go beyond those boundaries. So that'll keep him safer, and it'll keep the local wildlife safer, whilst allowing him to do his job of eating rats. Because, ugh, no one wants rats. Sorry, I'm not very good at talking and pulling up for some reason. I don't know why. It requires my brain power somehow. Anyway, so I hope everyone else had a really good Christmas. We had a pretty good Christmas, but it was also very, very stressful at different points. We ended up going up to Southwest Rocks with all the in-laws, and which was amazing. Absolutely beautiful weather up there. Hung out on the beach for most of it, which was great. But we were camping with our two kids who are 3 and 5, and I think like everywhere else in Australia at the moment, we all ended up with getting gastro, or the kids did, which in a tent is not very fun, actually. Didn't enjoy that. It was a bit messy. Hi, can you not tread on the clay? Because I don't think it'll really go that well for either of you or the clay. Snow?
Mom.
Yes, Snow. Did you get it all off?
Look.
Oh, good. See, I told you could do it. Sometimes I definitely struggle having young children and running a business like pottery or anything creative, because it can get very frustrating. You're back, are you?
It's getting all of this thing off. Wow.
Yeah. There's lots of clay on there.
There, all done.
Good job. Thank you. Excellent. Thanks, Bear. All right. That took way longer than it usually would. Doing ceramics is definitely a patient person thing, and I am just not a patient person in the slightest, so I tend to struggle a little bit with it. Pretty much all of the big mistakes that I've made doing pottery has been because I've been impatient or easily frustrated, which, you know, also that. Oh, why is this? There we go. Anyway, so where was I? So yeah, I feel like I've been super spoiled this Christmas by my family. I got a new cat. I got a very nice new wheel. This is a Shimpo RK3E. Prior to that, I was just working on my tiny sort of $300 off the internet wheel, which, to be fair to it did an amazing job. Like, I've thrown 12 kilos on that thing. That one was actually a present from my sister and her hubby for my 30th birthday, when the rest of my family pulled together and got me my first little kiln, which was the start of all of the pottery shenanigans. So I always wanted to get into pottery, but it was one of those things that I was like, yeah, one day it'll happen. I'll do a class. Ooh, I have thrown that too thin. Let's straighten that out. Yeah, so like I always wanted to do it, and I always felt like I, was pretty keen, but couldn't really justify doing a class. And then COVID hit, and then it was my 30th birthday 2 years ago, and my family surprised me with this random kiln and like secondhand kiln, and I was just absolutely blown away by that, because none of the equipment for pottery is particularly cheap, even the secondhand stuff. So otherwise, if not for that, there's almost no way I would have gotten into it.
If you enjoyed this update on the Mulvey Cottage and meeting our new family members, then I would absolutely love it if you liked, shared and subscribed. It would mean the world to me. And let me know if you like this style of video.